It started with a simple question. A question asked without suspicion, without urgency, and without the slightest idea that it would change everything. When is the wedding? The words were casual, almost routine. The kind of question families ask all the time, especially when love is already visible and plans are expected. But instead of dates, decorations, or excitement, the answer came quietly, wrapped in a smile that carried far more weight than words. We got married yesterday. Silence followed. Not because people didn't hear her, but because their minds couldn't catch up to what their hearts had just felt. In that moment, time slowed down. A wedding had happened. No invitations. No celebrations. No family gathered together. Just two people who chose a different path, one that would leave behind surprise, confusion, and a flood of emotions no one was prepared for. This is not just a story about a secret wedding. This is a story about expectations, family bonds, generational thinking, and the moment when love collides with tradition. For years, weddings have symbolized more than just two people coming together. They represent family unity, cultural pride, and shared joy. Parents dream of these moments long before their children grow up. They imagine standing proudly among relatives, blessing the union, and celebrating a milestone together. So when that moment happens in silence, without witnesses, it feels like something precious has been taken away. The shock wasn't anger at first. It was disbelief. How could something so important happen without anyone knowing? How could days pass without a single hint? Questions crowded the mind, each one heavier than the last. Did we miss something? Were we not important enough to be included? Was this a decision made in fear or freedom? Behind the calm smile of the daughter-in-law was a story no one had asked about yet. Because sometimes, people don't hide things to hurt others. Sometimes, they hide because they are afraid of being stopped. Love today does not move at the same pace as tradition. Younger generations grow up in a world where independence is valued more than approval, where personal happiness often comes before social expectations. To them, love is private. Commitment is personal. And marriage does not need an audience to feel real. But for parents, especially those raised in close-knit families, marriage is never just about two people. It's about community. It's about shared happiness. It's about feeling included in the most important chapters of their children's lives. That difference in perspective is where the pain begins. The mother-in-law replayed the moment again and again. The smile, the words, the finality of it all. There was no "we're planning to." No, "we're thinking about it." It had already happened. A door had closed quietly, without a sound. Yet beneath the shock, another emotion slowly surfaced: fear. Fear of losing connection. Fear of becoming distant. Fear that this marriage had begun with walls instead of bridges. But as hours passed and emotions settled, something else emerged: reflection. Was the wedding really about us, or was it about them? In many cultures, families unintentionally turn weddings into performances. Expectations pile up. Opinions multiply. Pressure grows. And sometimes, love gets lost beneath the weight of it all. Perhaps the secret wedding wasn't an act of rebellion, but an act of self-preservation. The couple didn't run away from love. They ran toward it, just quietly. That realization doesn't erase the hurt, but it softens it. It opens the door to empathy. It allows space for understanding without erasing tradition entirely. Because love does not look the same in every generation. Parents show love by wanting to be involved. Children show love by wanting autonomy. Neither is wrong, but when unspoken, both can hurt. The next conversation mattered more than the wedding itself. Instead of accusations, there were questions. Instead of anger, there was listening. Stories were shared about fear of judgment, about pressure, about wanting one day that belonged only to them. And in that honesty, something shifted. The marriage was already done. Nothing could change that. But relationships were still being written. Acceptance does not always come instantly. Sometimes it arrives slowly, wrapped in difficult conversations and quiet tears. But when it does, it carries wisdom. This story reminds us that love doesn't need permission, but relationships need communication. A secret wedding can shock a family, but silence afterward can damage it even more. In the end, the question wasn't, why didn't you tell us? The real question became, how do we move forward from here? Because families are not defined by ceremonies, but by their willingness to grow together, even when surprised. And sometimes, the most unexpected revelations teach us the deepest lessons about love, freedom, and letting go. Thank you for watching. Remember, life is full of surprises, and love doesn't always follow the path we expect. What matters most is understanding, empathy, and staying connected with those we care about. Every story teaches us something about patience, about family, and about the power of communication. Cherish the moments, embrace the lessons, and let love guide the way, even when it comes unexpectedly.